Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Leith Wickstein, the Regional Manager for Bluestone, and Olga Koskie from Tax Ashore. Olga, maybe before we get into the full questions, maybe just set the scene and tell us a bit about what Tax Ashore does, how to assist businesses and business owners who find themselves with ATO debt.
So we're tax debt negotiators, so very, very unique. My background and the other two owners' background, we're all commercial lawyers. So we're not accountants. We don't do any accounting work. We don't do any restructure work. We don't do any insolvency work. Our goal is to save businesses and keep them alive. So what we do is we come in when people have tax debt, we buy them time, we get them into payment plans that they can afford, not payment plans that the ATO say they must go into. We get rid of the interest and penalties where possible. We help them sleep at night and we help them get back on with running their business.
Who can refer to you? And I guess a lot of people think, well, I'll just send them back to their accountant to work on these.
Yep.
I'm of the understanding that you actually get referrals directly from accountants yourselves.
Yeah, we get a lot of referrals from accountants. So we're still obtaining 3-year payment plans with no upfronts. So again, that example I gave, anyone can probably get a payment plan, but whether it's a payment plan that the client can afford, whether it's a good payment plan. Another example is we had a call last week from a referrer who'd been assisting a client and told them to come to us. They'd said, no, the accountant will do it. They had about a 1.2 million debt. We would have got them 3 years. We would have got them no upfronts. And we're very careful in what information we provide to the ATO and how we do the application. That client got their accountant to put the proposal in. The accountant put a 40% upfront in because that's what the ATO had asked for, and a 12-month arrangement with a huge amount of detailed financials. So that's actually put the client backwards. It has not helped them. And we had 2 days to come in and fix it.
We had a sales team conference in July, and we had a couple of your colleagues in Sydney come and talk to the team. And I can't remember exactly how many years back you could go, but maybe just touch on that.
So we go back to clear the interest as far back as what the ATO's term is, the last zero balance. So the last time there was no debt. So my personal record is 20 years. So I haven't seen any longer than that. That one was quite an interesting one, but we can go right back. There is no limit. However, what we have to do is get the grounds. So it's not just a phone call that Leith's a great guy. Can I please have the interest and penalties back? The ATO have legal practice requirements. They're laws. If you can't sleep, you can read them on their website. And what it does is it goes through the very specific grounds that we need to include to get the interest and penalties back for each time period. So we spend a lot of time with the client, and then we're effectively writing legal submissions. They're about 12 pages long that go through the grounds that match the timeframes, that match the circumstances. So we're not really just dealing with numbers, and we're not just dealing with debt. We're dealing with humans and what's happened surrounding that debt to be able to recover that interest back.
What fees do you charge, and do you require a fee to be charged up front?
So we break our fees into 3 components. The first stage is free, and we do a detailed review, which is a bit of a deep dive that tells us what's going on behind the scenes, the risk rating, how close to legal they are. And that bit's free, and that allows us to effectively scope the job. The second bit is a fixed upfront fee once we've done the report. So if you get our report, or the client gets our report and says, thank you for your report, but I don't want to proceed, we write off into the sunset and there's no charge. If they do want to proceed, it's not time recorded, it's a fixed upfront fee so they know what they're in for based on the amount of work we need to do. And then the third component is a success fee that we only charge when we're able to reduce the debt.
What are some of the factors that dictate whether or not you have success in getting the interest or penalties waived?
So it's whether there's grounds. So it's whether the grounds meet the legal practice requirements. We're very, very good at asking the right questions to find the right grounds and at drafting the application. COVID alone is not enough anymore. There needs to be supporting evidence around that. And because we do so much of it, we know the legal practice requirements. We know what we're looking for. We know what to ask for, and we know how to draft the applications.
Can payment plans be up to 5 years?
No. So the most that the ATO are doing now during COVID, again, it was different. The most the ATO will give anyone at the moment is a 3-year arrangement. They can be staged arrangements though, if they're drafted properly with increasing amounts over a period of time. And potentially someone could go back and renegotiate an arrangement, but you can't have a set and forget for 5 years.
And next question, what happens if you default on a payment plan?
You're open to recovery action. So if you default on a payment plan, you go back effectively in the debt pool, you are at risk of all recovery action. And one of the things that the ATO are specifically looking at the moment and specifically keen on when considering whether granting a payment plan is the compliance history of a client. The amount of defaulted plans, the amount of cancelled plans, and the late lodgements are all taken into account when the ATO look at the compliance history for a client.
If a person is on a payment plan and they are due for a tax refund, would that refund be taken by the ATO?
Usually, yes. It
Yeah.
depends on the accounts, so many people have different accounts. So you might have an income tax account, you might have an integrated client account, you might have a super account. So it's going to depend on where the refund is coming in and which account has the debt, but yes.
Next question is, I think it must have jumped on a bit late, but can you help an individual, not just a business? The answer is yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And is there...
And we often help a lot of directors as well as companies. So that's where it comes in. We've got a huge amount of sole traders that we're helping and working with, and also a normal individual. Often normal individuals don't have the same level of debt because they're often PAYG earners. So they don't get themselves into so much trouble. Whereas mostly with individuals, we see the trouble occurring with sole traders or directors. We've had a few where wives have been nominated salaries, so then end up with a PAYG debt even though they're not working within a business. So there are circumstances where individuals come in that we need to help.
And the last question that I've got here at the moment anyhow is, and I'm not sure you could probably answer this one, but is there a minimum tax debt to make the cost a benefit?
Yeah, usually sort of under 30,000, it's not commercially viable for us to get involved. And if there isn't a good accountant, they can normally do up to 100 and get a decent arrangement. So mostly we assist people with debts over 100,000, but there's a few people that we still assist under 100,000 if they need our help.
And again, I know talking with your colleagues in Sydney that you've actually had brokers use your service for themselves as well.
I've done a few of these in person and webinars that afterwards we will get a couple of chats from brokers. We do keep everything very confidential. So someone once said to me, no one can know about this, or I did get asked to sign an NDA once. And I said to them, this is my business. If I went around telling everyone who we helped, I wouldn't have a business left. So yes, we have helped a number of brokers, but we do keep everything very, very confidential. We've had a lot of household names. And again, people would not come to us for assistance if we broadcast it. Makes it hard for me to get Google reviews when we're trying to build Google reviews and we're trying to build that trust online. But no, we take our confidentiality very seriously.
Thank you very much for joining us, and Olga, thank you very much for presenting.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, as I said, feel free to give me a call if we can help to keep people alive, to get these lens over the line. That's what we're there for.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Leith.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.